Alrighty, everybody. What is going on? Welcome back to the Journeyman Sports Podcast. Today, going to be talking about the divisional round NFL playoffs. Excited for this. This should be a really good weekend of football. We got 4 great games on tap. Just wanted to get this out to you guys. So hopefully, watch it before the games. See exactly how we do in these predictions. I am just one half of the show. Name is Garrett. Sadly, co-host Cade could not be here, but we still wanted to make sure that as a channel we got something out to all the viewers. So we diving into the first game. We've got my Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Arrowhead to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Jaguars are coming off of a huge win last week against the Chargers, comeback from down 27-0. The first half that Trevor Lawrence had where he threw first 4 interceptions. Me personally, as a big-time Jags fan, after he threw the third one, I turned the game off. Did not turn it back on until we kicked the game-winning field goal to win. So, that was my kind of viewing experience. It was a emotional roller coaster of sorts, but we won. And as a result, we get to play the best team in the AFC at their house. So, Jacksonville, we know exactly what we know the Jags' strengths. We have Trevor Lawrence, got a good run game with Travis Etienne, who I think is already a top 10 back in the league. The receivers, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones. The defense is solid. We got some playmakers, Josh Allen, Faloya Sadaluakan, Tyson Campbell. We got some guys. We got some guys on this team. I think we've got maybe the most underrated coach in the league with Doug Peterson. But we're going to play the best team in the AFC, who has the best player in the league with Patrick Mahomes, best tight end with Travis Kelce, one of the more underrated defenses, and in my opinion, the best head coach in football, Andy Reid. Coming off of the bye week, we know how good the Chiefs have been. I think Andy Reid's got like a 20-something-4 record off of a bye. So I'm a little bit nervous for this one. I don't quite feel as confident in my Jags. But the Jags have been doubted all year. That's where they found this sort of comfort. And I mean, why not us? Why can we not go into Kansas City and win? But I'm not exactly sure what to think of this game. I think there's a good chance that if Jacksonville starts out hot, you get a score, you get a stop, whatever the order is of who gets the ball first. Kansas City gets the ball first, get a stop, get a score on offense. Then I think you're setting the tone. That's what Jacksonville has to do. They have to be the more physical team today, and they have to win the turnover battle, which, as we know, those are typically the keys to winning any football game, but it amplifies in the playoffs, especially with the turnovers. Somehow, Jacksonville won last week with like a -5 turnover differential. I don't see that happening against the Chiefs, honestly. I think even if the Chiefs don't win the turnover battle, I still think they have a good chance to win this game. I'm not going to let my Jaguars bias seep through here. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this game. I do think it is going to be a lot closer than people think. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this game 35-30. I think it's going to be very high scoring. I think we are going to see Trevor Lawrence really insert himself as a top quarterback in this league with a big-time performance against Patrick Mahomes. I think Mahomes will just outduel Trevor Lawrence by a little bit in this game. Jaguars have the momentum coming into this one. And I'm not going to say they're playing on house money, but they don't have nearly as much to lose as the Chiefs do. And I think that makes a team like the Jaguars dangerous. So I still think the Chiefs are going to win this one. They're just better than us right now. But give us a year. We'll be back this time next year. I believe it. So next up, the Giants coming off their sort of upset. I don't even want to call it an upset against the Vikings. They won that game. What a Kirk Cousins way to end it. Throw it a 2-yard out route on 4th and 7. Giants get their win. Brian Dable continues his case for Coach of the Year against another Coach of the Year candidate, Nick Sirianni. and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the big storyline for this game is Jalen Hurts. He has not played a game in 3 weeks. We know how good Jalen Hurts has been this year. He was arguably the MVP up until he got hurt. I think it's got to be Mahomes now, just with the numbers that he put up. But we know what the Eagles are. Great defense, great offense, very well coached. They are a veteran group. They've been in the playoffs before, which is something the Giants, other than last week, have not. The Giants, however, are riding the wave of momentum. This is very similar, sort of, to the Jags and the Chiefs game, where you've got the underdog team coming into play, the big bad number 1 seed. Philadelphia's crowd, similar to Arrowhead, they are going to be going crazy. That is going to be a very, very loud stadium. We know how passionate those fans are. We know they've tasted it before with the Super Bowl, and they want it again. They think this is their year to get it. So the Giants coming into this game, how are they going to attack the Eagles? I think they are really going to try and rely on the play action, getting Daniel Jones out into space. This is something, I think Daniel Jones had 11 rushes against the Vikings last week, and they could not stop it. I don't think he will have the same success this week against the Eagles. They are a much better defense, much more athletic, much more versatile. Can they stop the run game? Can they stop Saquon and Daniel Jones and make Daniel Jones' arm beat them? That's going to be the story in this game for the Eagles. The Giants have to win up front on the defensive line, pressure Jalen Hurts. I don't want to say they should play dirty, but, I mean, it is the NFL. We know it was a shoulder that was hurt. Maybe they put a little shot on the shoulder, give it some pressure. Wouldn't be surprised if that is something that happens. But Jalen Hurts, I think, is going to start slow in this game. He hasn't played for 3 weeks. I think the accuracy is going to be a little bit of a problem at first. I think he is going to ease into it, though. And I think once he does, that's when the Eagles are going to start to take over. I think they just need to keep it close in the first half, and then they can try and really spring on the Giants in the second. I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this one. I'm rooting for the Giants and for the upset. But as we'll talk about with the next NFC game, I would want to see what could possibly be the game of the year. So I'm going to pick the Eagles to win this one. I'm going to say they win 30-20. I think the Giants are going to start off well, but I think the Eagles are really going to settle in the second half and pounce on the Giants and put out that momentum before they can really get it going. So next up, this is probably the game of the weekend. Got the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow going to Buffalo and Josh Allen. Both of these teams played last week. Both looked beatable. Both did not have ideal performances, especially Josh Allen. Me and Kate have talked about this a lot with his turnover issues. We know he can turn the ball over a lot, and he's shown that this year without Brian Dable there in the building. And unlike Miami with their third string, Cincinnati will take advantage of those turnovers. They will find ways to get points. They will score. And I think that's going to be the difference. Which quarterback can control the game and keep it with their team, not turn it over. Both these defenses are pretty solid. Both these offenses are really good. These are two well-coached teams with Zach Taylor in Cincinnati and McDermott in Buffalo. I just think Cincinnati has a little bit too much. I know Buffalo's got a lot to play for. I know how good their fans are. I just think the Bengals are just too good. I think Joe Burrow, second best quarterback behind Mahomes. And I think they know they have a good chance to get back to the Super Bowl. Oh, excuse me. I'm excited to see this game, though. I think there's going to be a lot of fireworks. I hope this is a really high-scoring offensive game. Cincinnati is missing their starting left tackle and right guard, which is something that will play into this. With them trying to establish the run in Joe Mixon, I really think this is going to be a game where Joe Burrow is going to have one of those ones. He's going to get a huge game, and I think he's going to way outduel Josh Allen. I'm going to pick the Bengals to win this game 30-24. No, 27-20. I'm gonna pick the Bengals to win 27-20. And now for the last game of the divisional weekend, we've got the Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams coming off big wins where they look dominant. Dak played his best game of the year, in my opinion. No turnovers, finally broke the streak. And then San Francisco, we saw exactly what they did in that second half. It was a little bit shaky at first, but then they came out and just stomped Seattle in that second half. And it's going to be really interesting to watch Brock Purdy versus Dak Prescott in this game. Brock Purdy, he's earned every right to get a chance to start next year. I think Jimmy G's going to be gone for the Niners. I think Trey Lance and him are going to have that competition. We know Tom Brady's gotten thrown into that mix. I don't think Tom Brady's going to go to the Niners. But can the Cowboys establish the run in this game? We know Dak Prescott is better in the play action, in the bootleg. Can they establish the run against this elite defense in San Francisco? We know these are two of the best defenses in the league. I don't think Dallas is going to be able to stop Christian McCaffrey in the run game very well. I think San Francisco has a chance to stop the Cowboys' run game. We know Tony Pollard and McCaffrey are two of the biggest playmakers in the league. That's going to be the matchup to really watch. Who can make more big plays between those two? And then Dak, especially. We know the turnovers. That's been the killer. Brock Purdy doesn't really turn the ball over. Is Dak Prescott going to have a game like he had against Tampa Bay, or is he going to have a game like he had against the Commanders in Week 18? Which Dak Prescott is going to show up in this game? And is Mike McCarthy going to get outcoached by Kyle Shanahan and the Niners staff? That is another big thing to watch. Me personally, San Francisco has been my Super Bowl pick for about 4 or 5 weeks. I really think they are the team to beat in the NFL right now. And I think they're going to win this game and play the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. I'm going to pick the Niners to win this one. I'm going to say they win 33-24. I just don't think Dallas has much of an answer for all of the weapons that San Francisco contains. I think they're going to have a great game plan coming into this. I can't wait to watch this game. And I really can't wait to watch all the games this weekend either. I think all 4 of these have potential to be very, very good games. I'm very excited for this. I hope all of you guys are too. Just wanted to get this out for you guys. My second time recording it. Sadly, the first file got corrupted, but still going to try and get this out for you guys. Hopefully this one saves. Obviously, if you're seeing it now, it did. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram at the Journeyman Sports Podcast. We got all kinds of stuff on there, posting whenever we upload. And then we'll be trying to do some more fun stuff throughout the playoffs on there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm just one half of the show. Cade sadly could not make it for this. Make sure to go check out his last video. He talked about the Saints and what exactly to expect, what they should and shouldn't do in the upcoming offseason. That's a good video. Make sure to go check it out and show him some love. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, this is the Journeyman Sports Podcast. Thank you for watching.